Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. The other day I made a video talking about different reasons why the government would be hiding the existence of Sasquatch from the people, the same way that they've been covering up UFO information for all these years. And I thought of a theory that didn't come to my mind the other day when I made that video that is really crazy and really far out there, but it could be possible. I'm not the first person to think of this either, I'm pretty sure. But I've thought for a while that maybe Bigfoot or Sasquatch is the natural evolution of, the foremost upright hominid on Earth, not human beings. And maybe human beings are a genetically modified Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Meaning at some point in history, something intervened and created a hybrid known as human beings. Maybe that is a possibility. But what is that? A lot of people think, that there's a creator and we were created by God. And some people think that we're just the natural evolution of a branch of hominids. But we don't fit in on this planet, really, with all the other primates. We're the odd one out. And compared to all these other primates, especially Sasquatch, we are not very robust. We're not built for extreme climates. We've adapted mentally to be able to survive in certain areas. We use technology to allow us to be in cold environments, extreme environments. We use fire. We have warm clothes. We have all these different skills that we've developed through, the use of our minds, the evolution of our minds. But why are our minds so much more advanced than all these other natural beings of Earth? There's a lot of people who think human evolution happened at a rate that's much too fast than what is considered to be natural. And if you just look at the technology we've developed in the last couple hundred years, it really is crazy how fast we advance. Just think of how long it took to go from a ground-dwelling race to a race of beings that can fly in the sky in airplanes. It didn't take that long. Why are we so different? It could be because there was alien intervention at some point and we're a hybrid. And Sasquatch is the natural, evolution of primate, the foremost primate on the planet. And maybe that's why the government would want to hide it from the people and not come out and say, because that would be quite shocking. That would cause quite the stir. Plus, it would be directly related to the UFO subject as well. And maybe the two are tied together, like I theorized in my last video. But it's just a really crazy thing to think about. We're just weak. I have to wear different layers to be out here in the cold, otherwise I'll freeze to death. Think of every other animal, even a squirrel. A squirrel has found a way to survive in the winter, throughout the winter, with just its fur coat. It's adapted to survive in this environment. I mean, people, if you think of the indigenous people, First Nations people, they survived for thousands of years with very little, but they still used fire. They still used the fur coats of other animals to survive. It's not like they just survived naked in the wilderness, like all these other animals, like bears and deer. They just survive somehow. Sasquatch can survive. It's robust. It's built to withstand these harsh conditions. It naturally evolved in the wilderness, in the forests of North America. I mean, they think people originated at, one spot in Africa or somewhere in Africa. They don't think they originated in North America, but they originated in Africa and branched out and started exploring and settling in different areas. And through all the different trials and tribulations, we were able to figure out ways to survive and to thrive. But even then, going back all those thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, like, our development was still much faster than any other primate on the planet. It does seem kind of out of place. And you can tie it back to all these other theories of, there being other advanced civilizations here before, like, what we think is, like, actual history. You hear these stories of... Have you ever seen that show, like, Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix with Graham Hancock? He talks about these supposed ancient civilizations that once existed and are not here anymore. So there could be some sort of weird alternate history, but all this stuff seems to kind of tie together when you really think about it. And I know this is just crazy stuff to think about. The idea that human beings could be an experiment or a weird, like, hybrid species of some natural primate on Earth and, like, alien DNA. A lot of people think, like, the gray aliens are abducting people to save their own race. They say they abduct people and they make, like, hybrids of their species and human beings to try and save their dying race. That's what a lot of people think. That's, like, one of the main theories of what the gray aliens are doing here. I don't know. There's a lot of people who also think the gray aliens are, like, not even real, and they're kind of robot-like or drone-like, kind of, in their state of being, kind of. Like, they don't seem like actual organic beings sometimes. And a lot of people think, like, the government is actually carrying out some of these abduction scenarios. There's that guy, Richard Doty, I think his name was. He came out saying that they staged a bunch of alien abductions. But you can't trust a guy like that, because his job in the military was to spread misinformation. So who knows what is actually going on. But we live in really crazy times, and it'd be interesting to know the actual origins of humanity, because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like something's off. And we don't really belong here, because we just don't fit in. Like, we need all this stuff to survive after all these years still. It's kind of crazy. We need, like, even in ancient times, we needed weapons. We needed technology to, like, hunt with. We weren't going out killing, like, mammoths with our bare hands. We needed spears and things of that nature. We've always needed technology. I guess before that we were just gatherers, foraging for food, but something just doesn't add up in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know this is kind of a weird subject to talk about, but it just came to my mind after I recorded that last video that could be a reason why they would hide the existence of Bigfoot, because it would show the true, foremost hominid, the one that's furthest along in evolution on Earth. It's not actually human beings, because we're a hybrid, part of some sort of genetic experiment, or just a weird creation thing. I don't know what it would be. Even in that, like, Lacertophile video I made back in the summer, the Lacertophile was like a document made from a conversation between a guy who encountered this, like, reptilian woman. She even talked about, like, there being different iterations of human being made throughout the years. Like, I can't remember how many iterations there was, 5 or 6 or something like that, but that's a really crazy story. If you haven't seen that video, just go back. I made that video in the summer. It's a very interesting document. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's super weird, probably not real, but it's just an interesting read. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Mountain Beast Mysteries.